Do you love summer? Well, what if I told you there's a tropical paradise in the US where it's basically summer all the time? That's right, Hawaii. Actually, we're talking about Florida today. And while it's technically not always summer here, especially in the northern half, it is the second fastest growing state by pure net migration with nearly 22 million residents now. And there's a reason for that. Sure, Hawaii and Southern California also have beautiful beaches and year-round warm weather, but Florida is a fraction of the cost, has much warmer water, and there's no state income tax. The Sunshine State is huge, however, so if you're thinking of moving here, you might not know where to start. That's where we come in. We ranked the following places mainly on their economy, safety, cost of living, schools, amenities, and quality of life. But this list isn't just going to be the cheapest home prices or lowest crime rates, because while the statistics are relevant, on their own, they just give us a list of cookie-cutter suburbs with the personality of a shoelace. So we made sure to include something for everyone, and if you want to know which Florida cities to avoid, let's hit 5,000 likes for a video on the 10 worst places to live here. But these are the top 10 best places to live in Florida. Number 10. Naples. Although historically known as only a retirement and vacation destination, this quaint little beach town has evolved into so much more than just a romantic getaway and golf paradise. In fact, it's one of the best places to raise a family with incredible schools, literally no crime, and a poverty rate of just 7.9%, which is a big reason why the metro population has grown by 23.5% since 2010. Now, technically only around 22,000 people live in the city limits itself, but that's probably because even the high median household income of $76,000 can't keep up with the home prices near the beach or downtown, which are in the multi-millions. The neighborhoods just outside of the city center, however, are much more affordable, bringing the median home cost down to just $370,000. And while that still might seem like a lot, when you consider the small town charm combined with fun museums and art galleries, multiple zoos, nature preserves, botanical gardens, a Philharmonic, cute cafes, and amazing upscale restaurants, it's more than a bargain. Especially since you get to watch stunning sunsets on the beautiful beaches every evening. And although people of all ages do live here, don't expect to find any raging nightlife, because pretty much everything still closes by 10 p.m. Number 9. Orlando. While Naples has an early bedtime, Orlando knows how to party. From tons of family-friendly theme parks and museums to pro sports to incredible restaurants and vibrant nightlife in the growing downtown areas, there is so much fun to be had here. And with some of the best suburbs in the nation, tons of golf courses, parks, and nature preserves, and the largest U.S. university at UCF, people of all ages want to live here. So while sure, there are plenty of tourists, they're also pretty much non-existent outside of the theme parks, and the metro population has actually grown by 25% since 2010 to nearly 2.7 million, mainly due to the booming job market. Sure, the median household income of $61,900 still might not be the best, but wages have grown by 11% over the past 3 years, and Orlando has led the nation in total job creation for 5 of the last 6. And since Orlando's located inland near the center of the state, the cost of living's remained pretty affordable with a median home value of just $281,000. But that also means you're around an hour drive from the nearest beach. Number 8. Sarasota. While Orlando is far from the ocean, Sarasota is right next to so many gorgeous beaches and keys, with Siesta Key rated by many as the most beautiful beach in America. This, along with the affordable cost of living, made it one of the most popular retirement destinations for many years. But as the city continues to grow with tons of new developments all over town, many college students, families, and young professionals have joined the retirees, with the metro population of nearly 870,000 growing by 2% each year. And for good reason. Sarasota is up and coming with so much art and culture and offers real city amenities like museums, live theaters, opera, and orchestra, and a cute downtown featuring diverse restaurants, shops, and even some nightlife. But it still somehow manages to maintain a small town feel with fantastic schools, low crime, and an abundance of beautiful nearby nature offering all sorts of outdoor recreation. Melbourne. Although, as a result of the city's growth, Sarasota isn't nearly as affordable as it used to be, with a median home value now at $313,000. But at least the economy's also growing fast, with wages having increased by 13.3% over the past 3 years to a median household income of $66,400. Number 7. Jacksonville. Jacksonville is not only the largest city in Florida by population with nearly 930,000 residents, it's also by far the largest city by total area in the contiguous United States. As I'm sure you can guess, this means the city is very spread out to the point where it feels more like a collection of towns and suburbs than any one true city. But hey, at least the lively and colorful downtown area offers a great art scene, a decent music scene, and some delicious seafood and barbecue. Okay, so it's obviously not the most exciting city, but Jacksonville is a great place to raise a family as there's good schools, the largest urban park system in the US, and 22 miles of pristine beaches just a short drive away. Not to mention, it's one of the best places to live and save money as the economy is booming with wages growing by 7.5% just this past year for a median household income of $66,000. And the median home value is only $221,000. But the winters here do get pretty cold. Well, at least for Florida. Number 6. Melbourne. Located next to gorgeous beaches with some of the best waves on the East Coast, the artsy town of Melbourne is just big enough to always have something to do while also never being overwhelming. There is so much beautiful nature, one of the best zoos in the nation, a few art galleries and museums, and 2 cute downtown areas with tons of shops, restaurants, cafes, and even some bars and clubs, making it a great place for people of all ages. But particularly families, since the schools are among the best in the nation, and the vibe is very laid back with friendly residents, few tourists, and little traffic. The best part about living in Melbourne, however, is the incredibly low cost of living. The median home value is just $264,000, and while sure, the median household income of $57,300 isn't the best, there are plenty of higher paying job opportunities in aerospace, defense, and communications, with the Kennedy Space Center being close by. Speaking of which, if you've ever wanted to watch a rocket take off, it's just a 40-minute drive away in Cape Canaveral. Number 5. Miami.
Wait, what? Miami made your worst big cities to live in list. How the heck is it on this one?
Well, yeah, Miami does have its fair share of problems, and we already mentioned them in my 10 reasons not to move to Miami video, so check that out if you haven't already. But if being in a diverse, cosmopolitan city with tons of culture and endless amenities is important to you, very few cities in this country can match what Miami has to offer. There are so many fun and unique neighborhoods featuring world-class food, tons of concerts and shows, incredible nightlife, an abundance of art and museums, high-end shopping, professional sports, and beautiful parks and beaches. Not to mention, the city is undergoing huge renovations with many places like Brickell, Edgewater, Wynwood, Midtown, and of course downtown really cleaning up with tons of new urban developments. The best part of all, though, is that it's a fraction of the cost of other big cities, although it's still pretty expensive with a median home value of $407,000. And while the economy is improving with wages growing by 4.9% just this past year, the median household income is still just $60,200, which is the second lowest of the 25 largest metropolitan areas. Number 4. Tampa. While Miami has the second lowest wages of any big city, Tampa actually has the lowest with a median household income of only $57,900 despite a growing and diversified economy. It more than makes up for it with affordability, however, as the median home value is just $290,000. Although that's probably due to the fact that Tampa isn't directly on the beach, but hey, at least you're only 30 minutes away from some of the most beautiful beaches in the country. This makes it a great place for families, especially since there's also tons of theme parks, nature preserves, pro sports, unique museums, historic neighborhoods, good schools, and incredibly low crime rates. But that doesn't make Tampa boring, because the University of Southern Florida is here, which means there's good nightlife with plenty of hip bars and clubs in the historic Ybor City. Not to mention the great local restaurant and brewery scene. Of course, it's not exactly on par with the excitement of Miami, but Tampa is a thriving thriving city in its own right, and close to so many other fun smaller cities like Lakeland, Clearwater, and St. Petersburg. Number 3. St. Augustine. Most of you are probably expecting this one at some point, and yes, while it is very small with a population just over 17,000 residents, St. Augustine punches well above its weight. Founded in 1565, this lively town is actually the oldest US city, and it hasn't lost any of its charm over the years, as the streets are filled with cute shops, restaurants, bars, and live music, and the historic sites, buildings, and museums are rich with culture. Not to mention, there's beautiful beaches, and the schools are among the best in the state. But not everything is perfect, as the violent crime rate is actually 91% above the national average, and since many people have recently discovered how amazing of a place to live St. Augustine is, traffic's gotten pretty bad, restaurants usually have wait times, and the median home value has skyrocketed to $326,000. But that should be no sweat for most residents, as the county's median household income is a whopping $90,000, and the unemployment rate is just 3.3%.
You're making all the difference out there, kid.
Next big.
Number 2. Destin. Everybody who overlooks Florida's panhandle is really missing out on some great cities and towns. And out of all of them, Destin might just be the best. Sure, Panama City Beach is a bit more affordable and flashier with all its spring break madness, but it can't compete with this cute fishing town surrounded by gorgeous beaches on the Emerald Coast and the beautiful Choctawhatchee Bay. Destin is home to great local restaurants, tons of live music, and cute boutiques, shops, and art galleries. And statistically, it's one of the best places to raise a family. The friendly, tight-knit community has amazing schools, literally no crime, beautiful nature all around, and tons of family-friendly attractions such as a water park, go-karts, mini-golf, an alligator park, and even banana boat rides. Sure, the spring and summertime tourists make traffic pretty bad, but Destin is worth every penny of its $464,000 median home cost, which actually isn't that bad when you consider all the great job opportunities in the county, with a median household income of $79,000, leading to a poverty rate of just 7.4%. Now, before we get to number 1, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and let me know what you think the best place to live in Florida is. But without further ado, number 1, St. Petersburg. While St. Petersburg is technically part of the Tampa metro area, I'd be doing it a great disservice if I just clumped the two cities together. Because while St. Pete is smaller, I'd argue that it actually has a lot more to offer than Tampa does, with friendlier residents and at a much cheaper price. The median home value is just $267,000, while the median household income is $4,000 higher than it is in the Tampa city limits. And St. Pete's downtown area is incredibly lively and walkable, with art and music everywhere, in addition to the many museums, galleries, vintage shops, restaurants, bars, clubs, cafes, and local events like the Art Walk. Not to mention, there's over 2,300 acres of parks and nature preserves. It's incredibly difficult not to fall in love with this charming city, and while it was certainly close, St. Petersburg is the best place to live in Florida.